what it looks like, this is the property on West Michigan Avenue where the adult foster care home is.
Correct.
Is that correct? All right, original selling price $250, principal balance due $1,910.
That's
Mr.
not
Agnes,
correct,
what's
no.
the status here?
That's the arrearage, the balance due since the last payments in July, 197,666.64. So less than half has been paid. So
All
that
right.
with a 90-day redemption period.
All right, Mr. and Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
apparently you paid substantially on this, $50,000 or $60,000. It is a land contract. The rules are different with a land contract. You have more time. If less than 90 days, if less than 50% of the purchase price has been paid, you have 90 days to redeem it. That means get it caught up. If more than 50% of the purchase price has been paid, you have 180 days, but we aren't in that circumstance. The law also requires that I adjourn this matter at least 7 days for you to get potential legal counsel or legal advice. What's your plan? Do you plan to try to bring this contract current?
We do, actually. We were in one of those situations where when it rains, it pours, and we just had one after another after another. In fact, hopefully during this whole thing, I've been trying to, I apparently, they stopped by, one of them stopped by the house one day. I wasn't home. I don't know if there's a miscommunication with phone numbers, but apparently they've been trying to reach me. I've been trying to reach them. I'm not quite sure what's going on. So, but yeah, our plan is to get caught back up and continue on as usual. We just, like I said, we had some bad things happen.
Well,
right,
maybe
Mr.
if
Rogness.
they've got a pencil, Your Honor, they can write down these numbers.
All right, well, let's figure out what the current arrearage is right now.
Correct.
How much is that, Andrew?
$3,900 for November. If it goes beyond November, it's a $995 each month after that. There are costs, $196.75, and there's unpaid taxes, which is accruing penalty and interest. They're currently $3,709.27. So I'm not certain what that all totals up to, but it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about $7,500.
All right. Do you have clients in the property?
We live here with our family.
Oh, it's just your house. It's not a rooming house anymore?
It used to be, and we bought it and we just turned it into our home for our family.
Good for you. It was a very fine home at one time. It was one of the finer homes in town 100+ years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were very excited to get in here. We put a substantial amount down. We did a lot of gutting and redoing and getting it, back up to where it needed to be. And that's when something went wrong, and it was just one thing after another. And we've been playing catch up ever since.
All right, well, let's talk about first thing we need to do is we have to continue this matter for 7 days, unless you're willing to just acknowledge the terms of it. But if you wish to review it or get legal advice, we have to continue it for 7 days.
Yeah, I tried looking into legal advice. I've been having some medical issues as well. So I will continue to look into legal advice. But like you had said, with this being a land contract as opposed to a traditional mortgage or a rent situation, getting assistance is a little trickier, I guess you could say. So I'm still
I don't think they
working on
give
it.
you assistance for a land contract. So
No.
maybe some B14. Next week we're full from morning to night. 9, 10, 9, 29. All right, we've got.
Want to throw it over the 17th?
How about 10? No, it'll be fine. Are you available at 10 o'clock
Yep,
on Friday, November 14th?
yep. And
All
did
right,
you get those numbers, Mr. and Mrs. Baker?
Yeah, I thought I had it. I'll write it down again, but I thought for sure I had the correct phone number.
No, did you get the numbers though?
He's talking about.
Oh, yeah,
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 three
yeah.
thousand
I
nine
got,
hundred through November, 196.35 in costs and unpaid taxes of 3705. And it's better to do this sooner rather than later, but if we add all that up, it's close to $8,000.
Yeah,
390.
I think Monroe or Vicky had stopped by the house and talked to Jeremy. So hopefully you guys can exchange phone numbers. Don't do it on the Zoom feed because everybody in the world hears it. But, you know, you
Yeah.
guys can, exchange numbers and talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, can I ask just real quick? I sent a text to Monty. Did he receive that text?
I don't think so, hun. And I really like you guys and we would really like to work this out, but at the same
Yeah.
time, we just wanna just try to figure it out. You know, the cost of my medications and all that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
no, I know. And we want to work this out too. I was kind of hoping maybe you can stop by one day. We'll set something up, have dinner. We'll kind of go over everything. We'll get
Well,
back on track.
even after next week, you get 90 days from next week. So you got time to try to work things out, at least
Okay.
97 days. But we're going to continue it to next Friday morning, November 14th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
questions? Mr. and
Thank you,
Mrs. Warren,
guys.
thank you.
Thank you.
We've got a
Okay,
head
yeah, have
start.
a great day. Bye-bye.
All right, very good. The termination of tenancy was filed on August 25th, post the lease period. It's a month-to-month lease. He has to give you at least 30 days notice. And that would be September 5th and then, or 25th. Then we went through October and now November. So that's correct, Mr. Bush. Plaintiff just wishes to terminate tenancy.
That's accurate, Your Honor.
Mr. and Mrs. Ferris, what's your position?
I'm wanting to demand a jury trial.
All right. Ms. Ferris, what's your position?
Yeah, we would like a jury trial.
Do either of you have a law degree?
No.
You know anything about the rules of evidence?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have to file the demand in writing and pay the $50 jury demand fee. Why don't you wish to move? Will you hold still, Miss Ferris? You're making me nervous. This is like watching a episode of a handheld TV camera show.
Sorry.
What's your basis for a jury trial?
All right. So back in 2024, I know that ain't got nothing to do with it now, but Larry decided that he wanted to evict us. Okay, so he told us if we came up with the remainder of the money that we owed him, that it would be dismissed. And so we came up with the money and it got dismissed. Well, what we didn't know is that Larry told us that we were to pay for the court fees and the lawyer fees regarding the 2024 eviction. And so we paid that to him. And I was
Well, at
told
this
that,
point, he's not asking that you pay anything. He's just asking that you move, and
Yes,
has
but
been
we-
asked that you move since sometime before August 25th.
Can I speak?
Yes.
We have 3 kids and we're getting into winter months, and the housing resources, we're working with Neighborhood Inc. but the housing resources are just not there. Like, we're looking for a place, we're trying to move, but Neighborhood Inc. is in the process of helping us, but they've sent us a whole landlord resource list for private landlords, regular landlords. We filed at Village Manor. There's a year's wait list. That's the reason why we want to fight it. One is because we have children and we have nowhere to go,
Yes.
all under the ages of 12.
Well, the first thing we need to do is continue this matter for Ms. Ferris. Why can't you stand still?
Because I have really, really bad anxiety.
All right, well, we'll try to do the best we can. If I do grant a jury trial, I'm gonna do an escrow order. So you're gonna have to pay the rent to me and I'm gonna hold on to it. You don't just get to live there free for months while this matter gets set for a jury trial. So you're gonna have to pay your rent to me, which will be less rent you would have to go to another place. And I hear this every week. People would say we would move out if we had somewhere to move to. And when you say reason for leaving last property evicted, after jury trial, no one's gonna want to rent to you. So it's already hard enough to find a place to move to. So the first thing we need to do is continue this matter for at least 7 days, which will take us to next week. People would move if they had somewhere to move to. But you're not a very good risk because your current landlord's evicting you for not paying the rent. They don't want you as a tenant anymore. So the next landlord may not want to take a chance on it. If you could get into one of the subsidized places, that would be good. But you're right, there's a waiting list on all of them. So you're asking for a jury trial to delay it, which it would do, but I'm not going to delay it till January, February without you paying the rent. So you'd have to pay November, December, January, and February's rent, or whenever we could set it. We have a bunch of criminal cases that also wish to have a jury trial. We haven't had a jury trial since I've been here. And maybe we had one when Judge McManus was here. So, Mr. Kreitz, what is the current rent?
I do not have that with me, Your Honor, as we weren't going after
Yeah.
the rent. I would have to.
Well,
get
let's
that
look at
to
the
you.
lease. That'll give me a clue here.
Hey, Your Honor.
Yes.
And to also talk to you about the lease. Okay, Larry also bumped up our rent. I want to say it was the following last year. So the amount that says that we have to pay him on a 185, that isn't correct because we've been paying more than 185 a week. And that's because before everything was said and done, we paid Larry, I want to say it was $10,200 back in
August.
before the eviction got filed. So I just wanted to let
Was
you know.
that with financial help?
Pardon?
No, we sold our brand new car for it. We sold our brand new 2018 Jeep Compass to pay our rent here because Larry told us if we did, that we would have a place and a roof over our kids' heads. So we sold our brand new Jeep in August of this year for $12,000, and we gave him everything
In
we
August
had.
of 25?
Yes, sir.
Well, then he served a notice to quit on you on August 25th.
Yes, that's correct.
And that's what we did. That's what didn't make no sense to us.
Our representative from Legal Aid is here, and you may wish to speak to her. Let's continue this to next Friday. John, are you available next Friday?
It depends what time, Your Honor.
10:15.
I should be. I have a misdemeanor pretrial in the morning, but I'll be with a few feet from you.
All right. Let's make sure that time is available. Yes, I have 9:40 and then I don't have anything till 11. So we'll continue this to 10:15. Meg Bauer from Legal Aid is here, and she's willing to meet with you right now and at least get contact information so you can discuss it further. So your car was sold in August of 25, not August of 24?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
All right. All right, let me put Lisa Ferris into room 1. Josh Ferris into room 1. And Legal Aid into room 1. All right, Mr. Kreitz, Mr. Bush will address this further next week. Meg, are you in the room? There we go.
Jamie, I'm gonna call you in just a few moments, okay?
Okay,
All right, very good. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Judge.
thank you, Your Honor. Enjoy the weekend.
Mr. Deerduff had other people living in there and there were problems with this property and
My only point was if you wanted to do them together, we could do them at 155.
well, I need to get both parties here, I guess.
Fair enough.
We'll see who shows up first.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but Bruce Butch Baker's here, representative of Heartland.
Heartland Rental Properties is the current owner. Who did you purchase this property from?
You're asking me, Bruce?
I can't hear you very well.
Hey, speak up.
Yeah, that was a while back. My son and I bought it, and then we split up our LLC.
Who did you buy it from?
All right, was this the property that had the motorhome parked in it and a bunch of other people in it?
There's been quite a number of civil or city infractions while Carrie Deerduff was in charge of buying it from my wife and I.
All right, well, let me look at this for a minute while I'm waiting.
We bought it from Crystal Heveland, if that name means anything to you. My wife and I did. Or maybe my son and I. And then we ended up fixing it up and selling it to Carrie Deerduff, Mr. Carrie Deerduff.
Yeah, I had several cases with Mr. Deerduff doing evictions, but you're telling me he didn't even own the property?
He was buying it on land contract.
Okay,
And
yes.
he paid his payment, but he got behind on other.
All right, I can't hear you very well, so let's
He got
just wait.
behind on insurance and taxes and.
All right, just stop. He's not here yet, so we need to wait for them.
Okay.
All
He
right,
quit
so
claiming
yeah, he
back
kept
to-
getting people in there and evicting them and,
He has since quit claimed his land contract interest back to Heartland. So he
All
did
right.
have an ownership interest. He does not now.
all right. That helps. This is my cousin lived at 116 West Bennett. And I spent a lot of time in that neighborhood. That was an apartment building even 50 years ago. It's got nice income potential if it was managed better. There are people looking for housing all over the place. And it was just falling into disrepair and he had junk all over and so it wasn't good. Here's somebody by telephone only, which isn't ideal.
His number. He carries number.
All right, somebody's here by telephone. Who am I speaking with?
Mark Parker.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have the ability to come in by something other than telephone?
He's on the next, sorry.
What's that?
All right,
Just the
well,
150
just stay where you are.
Okay.
We'll do the best we can.
I just don't have data on my phone, so it's,
I recognize that.
All right, here's Mr. Mcneil and Ms. Patel. We're not quite ready for you guys yet. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Welcome to 3B District Court. We're in hurry up and wait mode, waiting for some defendants that are supposed to be here but are not. Your matter's set for 2. We're probably going to get to it early. We don't have personal service on Mr. Dearduff. Mr. Parker, I'm going to mute your phone. The problem is you may not be able to unmute it. You've got wind background noise or something. Let's see how that goes if you can just hold still. Let's talk about Heartland versus Dearduff. This is a termination of tenancy action. I learned that Heartland Rental has taken the property back with a quitclaim deed. Mr. Dearduff had several landlord-tenant actions under his name. Because I don't have personal service, I can't do a default. Do you believe he's still in the premises?
No, he moved down to his daughters in Indiana. His people are in there though.
All right.
Yeah, he hasn't been there for a while.
Are there people in his unit?
Yes. Are evicted.
All right, it's Kerry Dearduff and all occupants.
Right.
Well, here's.
Bruce made multiple visits and posted it according to.
Yeah, this property needs to get cleaned up. They need to get everybody out of there. They need to clean it up. I said it's a nice, could be a nice place with a lot of income potential, but right now it's about a half a step from being condemned. All right. Well, we have to continue the matter because we don't have personal service. So I'm going to continue it to next Friday, November 14th at 10:20. Does that work for you, Mr. Davidson?
I think, wait a minute, let me just double check. Because there is something going on next weekend I can't remember. It actually doesn't work for me, Your Honor.
Would another time work?
No, I'm going to be leaving Thursday afternoon for Traverse City.
All right, well, how about Monday, the following Monday? What?
Excuse me?
Does that work?
My daughter was born on opening day, so I've got to be up there for the 15th.
All right, some things are more important.
Well, it's on.
Let's see what we got here. So will you be here Monday, the 17th?
Yes, I could be.
2 o'clock, Monday, November 17th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, our next matter, Heartland.
Are we done with Butch Baker, Your Honor?
Yes, but let's take up Danny Lalonde. I've got somebody else in the waiting room. Shauna's early. All right, Daniel Lalonde in apartment A is set for 145 and he's not here either. And we don't have personal service on him.
Who's Daniel Lalonde? Who's the tenant? Okay. Unit 1.
So we're gonna do the same thing. With Lalonde. Well, these both say Dearduff. Continue.
Yeah, I think the situation with Lalonde is he had accepted, Bruce served him.
All right,
But
we'll
he was just
continue
all-
this to
they're all shirt tails of Carrie Dearduff.
11/17/25 at 2 p.m. You got a lot of unknown tenants in there, need to get out.
That's our goal.
Like I said, this could be a nice rental with lots of income stream, but right now it needs to get cleaned up. All right, Mr. Davidson, you have a nice trip. Sir, I'll see you a week from, well, Monday, 10 days from today, on the 17th, and we'll address both of these matters at that time.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. John and Lorraine Williams versus Mark Hart and Johanna Green. Johanna Green is here. Are you Mark Hart?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Matthew Davidson is representing Mr. and Mrs. Williams, who are present. The defendants are both present. And Jason Mcneil of the firm Mcneil. You should put your name first, is here on behalf of the defendants. And this matter is not straightforward and clear cut. It is filed as a land contract forfeiture. Mr. Davidson filed the action on behalf of the Williams. Mr. Mcneil filed an answer and has a different view of matters. Mr. Davidson, what's the status here?
Yeah, I want to clarify the record. This is a lease and it was filed as an eviction.
Well,
recovery possession and the.
Let's take a look.
Well, the defendants.
Oh, yeah, it is filed as a termination of tenancy rather than, they claim it is a land contract. It's a lease option to buy.
It's not a land
And
contract.
sometimes determining the difference between a land contract and a lease option to buy is the difference between Saturday night and Sunday morning, trying to figure out where the line is. But it's entitled Personal Home and Property Lease and Purchase Agreement, March 21st, 21 through March 28.
The answer is, Your Honor, that the term, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'll listen.
Go ahead.
Well, the answer is that the terms of the document are a lease. It's not a, it's a house with significant acres for $1,400 a month. It's a lease. It says it's a lease, and while it does give some purchase option to the occupants, it is not a land contract. The land contracts are land contracts. It's not a land contract. There's no interest. There's no, it's just not a land contract. If the parties paid everything that they were supposed to pay, they could indulge in a purchase agreement, but they have not. The defendants have not paid since May.
Your Honor, if I may respond and with a preliminary thing, I'm accompanied here by Miss Patel, who was sworn into the Michigan State Bar last evening, I guess, at 4 p.m. I'd love to have her be able to participate, but I do not have a P number for her. I did the swearing in myself on behalf of the Kalamazoo Bar Association as its vice president, and did the actual swearing in and the motion myself of her. So if this court would permit her to present on behalf of the defendants, I would appreciate it, but I am prepared to go forward myself.
I defer to the
court. Your representations are satisfactory. Congratulations, Ms. Patel. The pool of applicants taking the bar gets smaller and smaller, and the pool of people actually passing the bar smaller yet. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. Dad.
Where are you from originally?
Here, actually, Kalamazoo.
Oh, very good. Where'd you go to law school?
Loyola University, Chicago.
Well, that's where Judge Stutzman went. That's done all right for him. All right.
That's
What's
because he had
your
great partners along the way.
Yes, well, so we have what Mr. Davidson claims is a action to terminate the tenancy and have them move. Your representation by your pleading is it's something other than a lease option to purchase. What's the defendant's position?
Yes. So just to clarify, Judge, is it all right if I present?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
acceptable.
Okay, perfect. So, Your Honor, we're here today because opposing party does believe that this is a lease. However, this is a land contract. This is a substance over form argument. You can see that they have had installments and to a final payment that they will end up getting the full legal title as well to the conditional equitable title to the property. This is different than a lease because even though it uses the words lease, this is created by lay people that do not know the legal definitions of a land contract. I'm sure that's what the intent was. So for example, I know opposing party did say that this was a lease to purchase with an option to purchase. However, if you have the document or the actual contract in front of you, in section 5, it does say that once they make that final payment, that lump sum, that they will be signed over the property. There is no option here. That is what a land contract is. So it's not a lease to purchase. And moreover, it's not an just a regular lease because they do have equitable title to the property at this moment. And then moreover, at the end, even though it uses the language of in the very last little paragraph that Hart and Green agreed to immediate eviction for the non-payment of lease, that is just what lay people say instead of a forfeit for a land contract because they are paying towards that final contract price. But then they are forfeiting essentially if they do not pay. We're not here because we don't contest that Hart and Green haven't paid. We're here because this is a land contract just done with layman's terms instead of using like actual land contract terminology. But that is the substance here. And moreover, the plaintiff did draft this lease, so they do have contra preferendum, like it is construed against the drafters, which are the plaintiffs in this side, and this is a land contract. Moreover, we're just asking for this court to dismiss the case because it's not an eviction landlord tenant case. They have more rights. They have a different set of rights than under the Michigan law. However, just Your Honor, in an effort to be flexible and more efficient, and because we are aware of your court's very busy schedule and your 12-minute lunch, that
it isn't like that every day, but today was
that opposing
busy.
party just amend their complaint to reflect the correct legal proceeding for a land contract.
All right, there's some things that aren't in here. As I said, it's entitled Personal Home Property Lease and Purchase Agreement.
May I speak, Your Honor, please?
Yes, but I have a question. Who's paying the taxes?
It is.
I'm asking Mr. Davidson. Can you tell me who's paying the taxes?
Mr. Williams, could you answer the question, please?
We are.
The owner.
All right, so the plaintiffs are paying the property.
Pay the homeowner's insurance.
They pay the
They
taxes.
pay taxes and homeowners insurance?
Yes.
Correct.
And,
That mitigates toward the fact that this is a lease option to purchase rather than a land contract. The plaintiff filed a memorandum, or the defendant did, which they cite a statute and some case law Plaintiff hasn't had an opportunity to respond to that.
I would do so now if I could.
And so, Mr. Davidson, what's your response? So in a land contract, the purchaser is generally responsible for the taxes and insurance on the property. In this case, the plaintiffs, according to them, nobody's under oath, but their representation is that they're paying the property taxes and the homeowner's insurance, which make this appear to be more of a lease. We get lots of these. A lot of mobile homes are lease option to purchase. A lot of other things are lease option to purchase. And often they're self-drafted, which leads to some ambiguity. Mr. Davidson, you wish to respond?
Yes, I appreciate Ms. Patel's attempt to describe what happened, but she wasn't there and she's not correct. The plaintiffs specifically chose not to do a land contract. This wasn't an accident. It wasn't something they are not, they didn't just crawl out from under the, cardboard. They understood what was going on. These people had been tenants before, and they had defaulted on their tenancy. And one of the philosophies was if they had a chance to buy it someday, maybe they would be better. So this was put together, and when Ms. Patel spoke into paragraph 5, it does not allow for the payment. It said if you pay all the payments through 2028, then you would be allowed to buy it for that amount. But it's not like you could, it doesn't say the defendants can come in at any time and pay it. So it is totally a lease. At the end of the lease, according to its terms, they have the option of buying it if they made it. And because of the credit issue, if you look at the last 2 paragraphs, the requirement is that they pay, and they have not paid since May. So they've defaulted on this lease option, and it is a lease. It is not a land contract. They can say it is, but it's not, and they specifically chose not to. I would like to address one other issue. There was a statement in the pleadings that said that they had tried to make the payments and that the plaintiffs had not accepted them. All the payments were made into the Kalamazoo County State Bank, and the plaintiffs never handled the money. They never received the payments, and the defendants just stopped making them. You would also see, to indicate that it's a lease, that the document required that the plaintiffs buy renter's insurance, which they did. And up until May, they stopped paying it. And the only reason that we know that is the insurance.
Stop that. You said the plaintiffs require purchase rental insurance.
I'm sorry, you're right. The defendants were the tenants. The tenants in this contract were required to buy tenants insurance. It's a lease. They did buy tenants insurance. And until they stopped paying everything in May of this year, they had tenants insurance. And the only reason that the plaintiffs know that they no longer have it is because they got a notice from the insurance company that it had been canceled for non-payment. But again, that's more to protect the contents than it is the building itself. But everything about this is a lease. It's been a lease, and the defendant's attempts to claim it's something else is contrary to the documents. It's contrary to the truth, the history of the relationship, and the clients haven't paid since May, and my client's entitled to an order.
Your Honor, if I could respond briefly to that.
Yes.
Today obviously is not set for an evidentiary hearing, so we haven't received any evidence today on what was or was not the belief of the parties entering into this agreement. Again, we've stated that on its face, it says a personal home and property lease / purchase agreement. The contract is construed against the drafter. And paragraph 5, and I'm going to read it into record if you'll permit me, given its brevity. The lease / purchase period shall commence on March 1st, 2021, and after the March 1st, 2028 payment of $1,140, a final payment of $9,940 will be paid to the owners, and at that time, the property will be signed over to Mark David Hart Jr. and Johanna Grace Green. I'd say period, but there isn't a period there. But that is it. When that final payment is made, it is their property. It's not when that final payment is made, there's an option to purchase the property. It's not when that final payment is made, they will, get an appraisal of the value of the property and pay. At no point in here does it say credit for rent will be applied to this. This is strictly a lease/purchase payment. And when the final payment is made, it is my client's property, period. Therefore, it must be a land contract, because at the end of the day, it's a contract that, if fulfilled, results in the purchase of land. Now, we are very happy to brief this issue, Your Honor, because I believe we will be able to demonstrate in such a brief that a land contract does have various flexibility on who pays taxes and who pays the insurance because of that risk shifting. I have done myself, on behalf of my clients, many land contracts, titled land contracts, where my clients are taking essentially a gross payment and then paying the taxes and the insurance to ensure that those items are met by the landlord or vendor of a land contract, so that the vendee doesn't have that burden and their only burden is to make a singular payment. Our point in coming here today, of course, is at the absolute worst for our argument, there is an argument, and this is not clearly a lease. I believe we can demonstrate that both through testimony and through briefing and provision of the law to go further. But I do not think it is appropriate for an eviction. And I do believe that my clients, having paid more than 50% of the balance of the land contract, they have certain unalienable, equitable rights, including a redemption period. I will go further, Your Honor, and I'd be happy to be sworn. I know that my clients made an offer to catch up the entire purchase or the past due payments, because I was the agent who made that offer that was rejected.
Who was that sent to?
Your agents.
All right, now, you've each pointed out several things. Nobody's under oath. We're gonna need an evidentiary hearing. And we also need to make sure we understand the law. As I said, there's a fine line between what is a lease option to purchase and when does it become a land contract. There's also an additional issue. Is there still a marijuana grow operation on this property?
No, sir.
All right, I didn't know if there were issues of crop under cultivation. At one point, the thought was it would be a medical marijuana growing operation. It's not currently that now.
No, I haven't been a caregiver under the state law since I think 2019. Before we signed the contract, they left the provision in there in case I continued later on being a caregiver, but there's no reason to do that.
All right, just a moment. So Angie Price showed up on the Deer Duff case. She was late to her own party.
Yeah, she called. She couldn't get into Zoom.
All right, thank you. She's here now in the background.
Oh, okay.
All right. So a very interesting question, more than a run-of-the-mill landlord-tenant case. There's a lot of money involved. Nowhere in here does it state what the purchase price of the property is, which is normally in a land contract. So it doesn't say how much they're supposed to pay. I guess you could extrapolate it, from the monthly payments from March 1st of 2021 through March 1st of 2028, which isn't here yet with the final payment. But this doesn't say how much they're supposed to pay. Doesn't say they have the equitable rights of a land contract. So I'm not sure the fact that it's to be shifted at the final payment turns it into a land contract from a lease option to purchase. So there are issues that need to be
Your Honor,
discerned.
for the benefit of the court, we've calculated that it's $105,000, well, $105,700. And part of that calculation is the final balloon payment of $9,940. And I would suggest to the court that leases don't have balloon payments.
Well,
Your Honor.
lease options to purchase do. All right, anyway, we've got a dispute and we're gonna have to sort it out. The law requires, no matter what we do, we continue this matter, but this needs more than just a regular slot on landlord-tenant day. There's also representation that plaintiff or the defendant has offered to pay in full. And this is filed as a termination of tenancy rather than a non-payment of rent. But the way this is filed, the defendant doesn't have a right to redeem the property.
Your Honor, I would indicate that the contract actually provides that the contract is in default if they haven't paid. Paying since May is plenty of time to give them that. So when they come in and say, oh, we have the right to pay it up, the contract has been terminated for their violation to do so. So they don't.
Well, I'm not sure that complies with the Landlord-Tenant Relationship Act. I'm not sure that's even a lawful clause, but we'll have to take a look at that as well. There's a Truth in Renting Act and the Landlord-Tenant Relationship Act, which apply to these matters. And
all right,
so I'm not sure that you can put such a clause in there. But again, there's lots of factual issues and legal issues that are going to need to be determined. And finding a place to put this will be like.
Your Honor, could we just simply brief the court on the arguments about whether it's a lease option or it's a land contract? Because those things come with the four corners of the document. In other words, we don't really have to get into who thought this and who thought that, but we could brief it. And then if you can't decide or you want to hear more, then we could go on to the sort of long drawn out, drama about who thought what and what we did and so forth. But I don't think that's necessary to argue about.
That's probably a good idea. I'm just stacking them up here while we're, yes. Now, there's no urgency here. One thing I was contemplating is an escrow order. If we're going to continue this matter for weeks or months, each month they're further delinquent. And if they claim it is a lease option to purchase, I'm going to do an escrow order that they pay the rent to the court. So we've got several problems scheduling something on short notice right now. It is November in the middle of Judge Patterson's.
Also point out to the court, one of the resolutions our client is looking to achieve is a redemption period and to redeem the property in whole. And in order to do so, they would have to be in a position where that is available to them to go to a financial institution, indicate that they have that right to redeem and redeem so with the equity that they've already placed into the property with, again, that balance being less than half. So we are not arguing that the rent in a landlord-tenant relationship is being paid. We're arguing to have that equitable position in order to redeem the property because my client is in a fiscal position where redemption and a new financier is much easier to do than what is in his current position, being that they have, assuming this is that equitable land contract position, they have substantial equities in there, and just for the purpose of this court, at a 10% interest rate, the principal payment would be less than half the current rental payment.
Your Honor, that's just all made up. There is no right to redeem this, or they would have to establish
Well,
that they have the
he
right.
didn't,
So,
he's asking for a right to redeem it. That would frankly be in your client's interest.
Your Honor, we're not allowed to talk about settlement. We've both talked settlement. All these things have been sent out to each other, and it's none of the court's business. I mean, we're not allowed to tell you what we've done, but for them to suggest that
generally it's
we
not
haven't come to
admissible
an
in some
agreement,
circumstance, so.
we have.
All
My
right.
clients get it. They're capitalists. They get it.
All right. Boy, I backed up. This has been a really good day. For everyone who's here waiting your turn, we'll be with you promptly. We've got a case that's got some issues with it. All right, they filed a pleading. Mr. Davidson, you haven't had a chance to respond to it. How long do you need to respond?
The date that you wanted us to respond legally to make a determination on the documents would be a good way to start it.
I got people all over. They got phone numbers, no names. They're getting gas at the gas station.
Why don't we just get together with the clerk and we'll schedule something according to your instructions?
Well, no, I'm gonna give you 21 days. Well, the problem is this takes us into January. Can everybody live with that?
Well, if you ordered the escrow of the rent, maybe. That's a long way out.
Yes, it is.
We're already to May. No payments have been made since May.
Yeah,
That's
good
almost
point.
Close to a year.
Now, if they get what they want, they get a redemption period. If they don't get what they want, your client's November behind, December behind,
They get the
January behind, and then it's, oh yeah, it is a lease. By the way, goodbye. And sorry, we didn't pay November, December, and January's rent.
Well, that's what they're obligated to do. They're living there.
Well, I understand your position. Somebody's
getting a
here by
benefit.
telephone.
There's no windfall.
All right. Well, how long do you need to file your responsive brief?
And Your Honor, just for clarity, we haven't briefed the issue in the way that we would. We filed a
I
response
understand.
to Mr.
There's no
Davidson
direct
and asked for dismissal.
argument that it, I'm
Like a
sorry, that it
similar
is or isn't.
opportunity.
Yes. All right. Plaintiff has 21 days to brief the issue. Who's on the telephone at phone 509?
Courtney Mercer.
What's your name?
Courtney Mercer.
You keep beeping into the, it sounds like you're running things through a self-scanner. Where are you?
I was checking out at the store.
Yeah, great. This is not very important. You're at the grocery store while we're in the middle of waiting for your hearing. I'm going to remove you. Why don't you log back in when you finish your shopping? And,
I'm done now. I'm walking out.
Right. You call back in a few minutes. Yes, it's a matter of great importance. I'll do it important between the time I'm shopping at a grocery store. All right. Plaintiff has 21 days to brief the issue of land contract. The lease option to buy.
Your Honor, if we're gonna do that, could we have the defendants file their brief first, because they're the ones that are alleging the document be different, and then I can answer it? Because I mean, otherwise I'm filing a brief to defend something that on its face is a lease. I mean, I don't.
All
I mean,
right,
it's hard for me to
defendant
do.
has 21 days to brief
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Plaintiff has 21 days to respond. And the defendant's gonna pay escrow payments starting November. Whatever the document is, calls for payments. I lost it.
I think it's 14.
Here it is. $1,140 starting for November.
Repeating that last number?
1,140.
Gotcha.
That's the number in the document. And if it is a determination that it can be redeemed, that's going to go to the principal. If it isn't, then it's up to the court to determine. This isn't a land contract or lease option to purchase until I call it. Saying it's one or the other doesn't make it that. So that's 42 days. Today is November the 7th. It takes us in December, and we'll set a hearing for this. Even in January, we're already full. Let's take a look. This is gonna be need to set for a specific time. I think I'll set it for an afternoon. Set it for the afternoon of January the 9th. 1 o'clock, 1:15.
And the escrow payments, Your Honor, are to be paid into the court beginning, like, it's already November.
Start beginning now. I will include November, December, and January, the first of each month.
What happens if that doesn't happen?
Say that again. If
Is there
the
a
escrow
default if it
fee
doesn't
isn't
happen?
paid, you prevail.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna block the entire afternoon. I have a flight to catch out of Chicago later that night, but hopefully we won't be into 9 o'clock at night. Mr. Williams, Mr. Green, Mr. Hart, Miss Green, this isn't clear. Your lawyer has a strong position one way and the other lawyer has a strong position the other way. And the document isn't the greatest. It was drafted by a lay person. It's got some things in it that make it look like a lease, and it's got some things in it that make it look like a land contract. So I need to figure it out. So they're going to brief it. They're going to give me the law, both statutory, court rule, and case law. And then we may have to take some testimony under oath on January 9th. I blocked out the whole afternoon. And we'll see. In the meantime, you're going to pay the payment. If you don't make the payment, they win. If you don't make the payment, it's a lease option to purchase, and you would have 10 days to get out from January the 9th, and you'd lose all the equity you've got in the property. So bear that in mind. All right, Mr. Davidson, anything further we should put on the record?
No, thank you, Your Honor. It is what it.
All right, Ms. Patel,
what's going
anything?
on.
No, thank you, Your Honor. Just that, again, we just want for our client just to do the 6-month redeem so that all parties get a benefit from this contract. That would be the most equitable solution for all parties involved. Thank you, Your Honor.
I thought so too, but apparently the plaintiffs have a different view of it. All right, this will be something to really look forward to in January. You guys are certainly able to continue to discuss the matter. Apparently there have been discussions towards settlement. And but thank you for enlightening me. We'll address this on January 9th at 1:15. Thank you. You're good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you, Ms. Patel. All right, that'll be good. Everyone else, thank you for your patience. That matter was complicated. Now we've got 15 people in here. First of all, let me talk to somebody who was late to the party. Ms. Price, can you hear me? You need to unmute your phone.
I got it on.
All right, thank you. You were late for the hearing in that case. The original landlord that owned the property has taken it back from Mr. Deerduff. He had all kinds of people living in there and they were in and out, and the landlord wants everybody out. So they filed a motion to terminate the tenancy. You don't have a lease. There's no lease in your name. The matter has been continued to next Friday.
Monday.
And I don't remember what time I continued it to because they took the file already.
It's on Monday.
Elaine, where did I continue the Deerduff matter to? Do you know, Matt? You're there.
I thought it was the following Monday.
Oh, it's Monday at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Ms. Price. It's been continued to Monday, the 17th of November at 2 o'clock. Now, what I would tell you at that time is you would have 10 days to vacate or you'd be subject to being evicted. So essentially you have until November 27th to get out or be subject to being evicted. November 27th is Thanksgiving. The first practical day they could serve a writ of eviction is December 1st.
Weekend. Would you?
All right, the next hearing will be Monday, the 17th by Zoom at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Or you can always contact Mr. Davidson and discuss it with him. But right now, the landlord wants everybody out of there.
People in here.
Fresh.
Yes.
All right, you're good to go.
You're waiting for your turn? I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Erica.
Yes.
Would you sit down and be quiet? You're wandering around. You're making me dizzy. You're talking into an open court record. Please stay in one spot. Ms. Bauer's been gone for an hour and she missed a lot of exciting stuff.
Well, I was watching Matt with
Oh, were you?
great
Okay.
anticipation.
And you've probably seen that issue before and isn't often clear. All right, we got a bunch of people here and a bunch of cases. And so let me start by advising all the tenants that are here of what your rights are as a tenant in a landlord-tenant proceeding. Let me take a deep breath. At least I can do this to a bunch of people all at once. You are a defendant in a landlord-tenant proceeding, either a termination of tenancy, a non-payment of rent, or perhaps a foreclosure action. If so, you have the right to obtain legal representation in this matter. If you cannot afford an attorney, a legal aid attorney may be available to help you. You have a right to a trial by a jury or by the court. If the action is for non-payment of rent, you may be able to get some emergency financial assistance from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, a local coordinated entry agency, a housing assessment and resource agency, that's Neighborhoods, Inc., or if you're a veteran, perhaps Veterans Services. You do have a right to demand a jury trial. If you wish to have a jury trial, you have to tell the court today, or be prepared to file a written demand within 5 days and pay the $50 jury demand fee. You have a right to have the case heard here in St. Joseph County where the property is located. You do not need a judgment against you, despite what they might tell you at DHS, to get assistance. Summons and complaint are sufficient, and you've already received that. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord by going through local community dispute resolution. And if you're interested, we can help set that up. Or you may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord that would result in a settlement, in which case we could file what's called a conditional order of dismissal. The actual next case on our docket is the 150 case of Myers versus Parker. And Mr. Davidson is on that case.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Miss Parker is here, I think.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
All right.
Mark Parker, Your Honor.
This is Mark Parker. All right.
I'm here as well, Paul Myers.
All right. Can't find my top page. This was filed as a non-payment of rent case. At the time of filing, rent was $3,138 in arrears. So Paul Myers is here. He kept bopping in and out. I had to let him back in about 8 times. Mr. Davidson, what's the current arrearage in this matter?
Yep, October, November, sorry, Your Honor, I should have been prepared for this. That's 520 more to the 3138. So let me do the addition real quick. I had done it.
This isn't a secret. I'm going to ask you this question every time.
I know. I was prepared. The service fee was $55.40, but I hadn't added in the rent yet.
55.40.
3138 plus 520.
All right. How much is the rent through November?
3658. 3658, Your Honor.
All right. And how much are the court costs?
I believe it was the filing fee plus $55.40 for service.
Yes, this would work a lot faster if you already calculated. That's $185.40. If we had both of those together, plus 3658 equals $3,843.40. Mr. Mayers, you agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Parker, what's your position?
I had sent you guys proof of that I was trying to get help from the SERC from DHS. For some reason that had got sent back to me. But I had got from DHS a few days ago a verification checklist that I had to send in my proof of the eviction notice and
all right, very good. When you do that, you're entitled to a 14-day adjournment. Mr. Davidson isn't available next Friday anyway, so that might work out for the best. That would take us to November 21st. And that would be in the morning. Are you available November 21st, Mr. Davidson, at 10 o'clock?
I will be. Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Parker, you need to stay in contact with Mr. Mayers. There may be some documentation he needs to fill out. they've changed the law, and at this point, essentially, the landlords must accept payment and participate in this programs. At one point, they didn't have to, but now they need to. You're fortunate if you can get some assistance because the money has been hard to come by, but there's something that you need to know. You need to pay the entire amount of the rent. A partial payment would not prevent the writ of eviction. And we're close to December's period. So through November, it's 3658. If we add another month's rent in December, it would go up by the amount of the monthly rent, which is $170 a week. So this will go up week by week. That 3658 isn't through November. It's through what date? Mr. Davidson, do you know?
I'll have it by the next hearing, Your Honor. I hate to take up any more time. We'll get it straightened out.
All right, Mr. Parker.
Yes.
You share this information with DHS. Now, next time, I don't want to do this by telephone. If you can't Zoom in, I want you to come here to the courthouse.
Okay.
All right.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
He has been through numerous organizations, and he's also been through, I thought it was the DHS that called me and said that he did not qualify, he didn't meet the standards that they had set forth, and refused his payment.
All right,
they refused my payment because I needed an eviction notice, they said.
No, they
haven't.
DHS will say that. The law says you don't need it, and DHS tells people you need an eviction order. So they
they told me.
All right, well, we can get you one. We can get you one today, but
No,
let's
I got
see what
one.
our What? You don't need an eviction order despite what they tell you, but they won't give you the money unless you have one. So we'll sort this out further. You need to discuss that with them. And again, you need to pay the entire amount. So let's say they give you $3,000, you still owe $843. You have to pay the whole thing to cure this. You're still subject to being evicted. 10 days from from November 21st is December 1st. So at worst, you could be looking at an eviction on December 1st. Anyway, stay in contact with your landlord, stay in contact with DHS, and if you can't zoom in, I want you to be here in person. There's a lot of wind noise in there too. All right, Mr. Parker.
For you next time.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we're a little unclear on that one as to how much rent it actually is. I told them through November, but I don't think that's right. So we'll try to get it. All right, let's move on to our next case. Thank you, Mr. Davidson. I'll see you next week from Monday. Centerville Mobile Home Park versus Zurley. Mr. Mayers, I'll release you also.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Daniel Landman, P35797 on behalf of the plaintiff.
Good afternoon, Mr. Landman. Have you ever been to Centerville?
I have. It has not been recent, but I did travel there, I believe, for probate court at one time.
Well, you'd enjoy it. Come in the summertime. All right, Ms. DeCenzo is here on behalf of the park. She has been to Centerville.
Tenant is here as well, Your Honor, but she's muted.
All right, I saw her there. Ms. Zurley, could you unmute your phone? Maybe I can unmute it.
I got it. Hear me?
All right. Yes. Also, Meg Bauer is here from Legal Aid.
Good.
This is another in our ongoing series of mobile home parks suing for lot only payment. Lot rent is alleged to be $430 per month at the time of filing. The arrearage was $1,774. Mr. Landman, what's the current status?
Your Honor, the case was filed, looks like it was mailed in September, so October and November now is included. The balance is showing as $3,227.69. Costs are $169.84 for a grand total of $3,397.53.
Ouch.
All right, Ms. Early, what's your response?
I paid them once. They told me they didn't get it. I was behind 1,118. I didn't pay because I wanted some questions answered. She wasn't answering them, and I told her, well, I guess we'll figure it out if you have to go to court. I just have some questions about who actually owns the property, why this is going on at my house, why some repairs have been done and I don't know anything about it.
All right, well, let me talk about that. You can pay your rent into escrow and
I did pay it.
and what?
I paid twice. She told me she didn't get it the first time. I paid the second time. I've paid her I think the total amount was around $3,000. So I actually had credits.
Well,
she's saying she didn't, it's missing out of my bank.
All right, when did you make your last payment?
So I didn't pay June and July, I think it was. August, I made 2 payments. The first payment was $1,118, and the next one was $1,238 or something like that. So I actually paid her quite a bit.
All right, so we have a fundamental dispute.
If I may, the 2 payments in August were both returned NSF. So there is now rent owed for June, July, August, September, October, and November.
My bank shows different. I tried to go through
to sort that out
through Pay Lease.
All right, now,
and I don't know why it's going through both. I have all kinds of extra charges that I shouldn't be charged.
well,
it's 2 different.
We may have to sort that out also. Is the 430? Is this total 322,769 just lot rent? Or are there other things included like garbage and utilities and that sort of thing?
There's water and sewer, Your Honor.
Yeah, I can't tell the way this is
administrative
played,
fee,
and
there's
so
a small
they
tax.
can't tell either. So this has been a recurring problem, not just at your park, but others. How much is the rent?
I've asked that several times because it went from 235.
All right, well, Ms. Early, it's not your turn to talk. Plus, I can't see you. You look like you're in a 60 Minutes interview where they blank out the person's face.
Your Honor, the lot rent was $400 a month for July and August, and $440 a month from September forward. So that's.
Well, the pleadings say it's 430.
It would be 2140 is the grand total for lot rent only.
That garbage can.
All right, how much is utilities?
That's going to be a little more of a challenge for me to do off the top of my head. Water and sewer was $50.23 in August, $49.
Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told Mr. Davidson. This isn't a surprise. I'm going to ask you this question every time. Now, Ms. Early, there's a fundamental question of whether they can even do this. They're suing you a non-payment of rent for not paying your lot rent. There is another method to do this called a just cause termination in a mobile home, which is frankly the way it's supposed to be done. If you're late 3 times in a 12-month period, they can move to terminate your tenancy, in which case you would have 10 days to move and 90 days to move or sell the mobile home. That's how it's supposed to be done. But the parks don't want to do it that way. So they're filing these non-payment of rent cases, and the rent is only for the lot. Plus, it isn't all rent. It's utilities and garbage fees and dog fees and garage fees. So I can't tell which is which. The only reason I allow them to do it is so that a tenant like you can redeem the property and stay there. So at this point, I don't know how much you owe for rent, how much you owe for utilities, how much you owe for late fees or garbage fees. And if they get what they ask for, they can only remove your mobile home. You don't have to move out of it if you own it. If it's a just cause termination, you'd have to move out of it. So I just granted the very first one of these. I did an eviction order for one of the local mobile home parks. And so they have a right to remove the trailer. Multiple problems. Many of the trailers can't be moved. And two, there isn't anywhere to move it to. And three, it probably costs several $1,000s to remove it. So some judges across the state have ruled that you can't do this. There are other judges that allow it, and I'm one of them, so the people can redeem it. You can get assistance. This was very prevalent during COVID when there was money, emergency funding to help people pay their rent. I allowed it so the mobile home parks could get paid and the people could keep their trailer. But I don't think the law actually allows for it, and the remedy is unclear. They would get the right to take your trailer off there with you in it if they could find some place to put it. So if it was done the other way, you would have 10 days to move out and 90 days to move or sell the mobile home. So we've got a lot of uncertainty here. Now, no matter what we do, I need to continue the matter for at least 7 days for you to get potential legal advice. Meg Bauer is here from Legal Aid. She's been aware of this issue here and in other jurisdictions that she practices in. Meg, I believe Kalamazoo does allow it.
Yes, Your Honor. And Legal Aid is of the position that mobile home parks can bring non-payment of rent cases, but exactly as Your Honor has indicated, the remedy is not that they get to remove the person from the trailer and all of their belongings, but simply remove the trailer from the lot.
Well, let's take a look. Now, the other issue, you said, well, I stopped paying because they wouldn't answer my questions. There's a way to do that where you pay your rent into escrow. I think you stop paying for reasons other than that. You claim you've made payments, but they claim they bounced. So if you've got a receipt from your bank that shows that they accepted payment, we'll consider that next week also. But let's
Judge,
take a look. Yes.
Point out, this park charges $175 per month in late fees.
You can't do that on a $430 tenant, $170 a month late fee.
And $60 every time I made a payment, and they took out an extra $100 a couple times that I didn't.
Well, we're gonna have to sort that out.
It's a mess.
They are entitled to bounce check fees and some other things, but they need to tell you what they are. This all just came in as rent, quote unquote rent, and he says rent was $400 a month. Then he said it was $440 a month. The pleadings say it's
payments I'm making. It looks like I own everything over here.
Well, I don't know. I wrote $430. Anyway, let's see what the pleadings say. So we've had a lot of cases today that are all unclear. Darn it. I guess I don't know where I got it. So let's look at next week. So what I want next week is I want to know how much is due and how it breaks down. How much is lot rent? How much is late fees? How much is utilities? How much is garbage fee?
I
How
don't have
much are
garbage.
bounce check fees? And then we'll figure out what to do. But the bottom line is, it appears you've not paid your rent since May, at least not one that's cleared.
I have
So,
transactions. I'm more than happy to show.
all
Meg
right,
should
so
have some of those.
let's assume, Ms. Zerly, that we come up with a figure. Let's say it's $2,000. You would have 10 days to pay the $2,000, or your trailer is subject to being evicted off the park. So bear that in mind. And the only thing that cures it is paying the entire amount. So some amount of money is going to be due, and it's going to be due within 10 days of the day I say it is. Now, whether they'll actually go through with trying to remove your trailer and put it somewhere remains to be seen, because it's going to cost them several $1,000s to remove it. So
If I had somewhere to take it,
what?
if I had somewhere to take it, I would have been gone a long time ago.
Yes, and it's very hard to cite an older mobile home. Parks are removing them. This park has put in some newer mobile homes. There are some new models that they've put in there. And this, I've been through it. Every once in a while, I like to see my territory. So I took a walk through there, and somebody's dog bit me in the foot. But other than that, it wasn't that bad. It was a nice fall day. The manager saw it. She saw it happen. Anyway, there's going to be some amount of money due, and it's going to be a hard number, and you're going to have to pay it. But we'll see. So we haven't made a lot of progress, but we're going to try to make some when we meet next. So theoretically, the matter is set for next Friday. We've had so much fun today. We thought we'd try it all again next week. I have blocked out the morning and the afternoon. I could set it for 11:15 and block out the rest of the morning for November 14th. Does that work for you, Mr. Landman?
Your Honor, will this be via Zoom or in person?
Via Zoom.
11:15 is fine.
All right, Ms. Zerly, we're going to address this again. 11/14/25 at 11:15 a.m. Block out the remainder of the morning. There is some benefit to the tenant to have it being done as a non-payment of rent case. It's much, much easier if it's done as a demand for just cause termination. The only question is, were you late 3 times in a 12-month period? I terminate the tenancy. You have 10 days to move and 90 days to move or sell the mobile home. It's much more clear and clean than the way, there's nobody doing it. Not one trailer park in the county is doing it that way. They're all doing it this way.
Judge, I suspect that because the parks, I suspect it's because the parks would like the relationship to continue too, if the tenant.
Well, they can still accept payment after a just cause termination, but during the COVID era, you couldn't get funding. If it was just cause termination, you couldn't get emergency finances. So that's when I first started to allow it. Now I guess I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. Maybe I ought to follow Livingston County and just ban it. Anyway, I've told, you haven't all heard this. I raised the issue at the judicial conference that was held in Detroit in May. And they had a couple of judges and an expert come in and present the case to about 200 district judges. And the answer to the question was, we don't know. We're not clear whether you can do this or not. And they said they either need to fix the court rule or the statute, or have a court of appeals case that answers the question. So, as I said, some judges have forbidden it, other judges allow it. Anyway, Miss Zerly, you're gonna owe some amount of money and it's gonna be a substantial amount of money. And when I give you that number, you're gonna have 10 days to pay it. So we'll address this further next Friday at 11:15. Would you like to talk to Ms. Bauer from Legal Aid?
Yeah,
All right.
you definitely need to.
What's that?
I said, yes, I definitely need to.
All right, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with her.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put Sean Zerly in that room 1. All right, Meg, you can rejoin it. I think you'll be all right. Ms. Zerly, hit the button that says join. All right, nothing has been easy this afternoon, so I appreciate everybody else's patience.
And Your Honor, I will go ahead and remove myself, and I think Ms. DeCenzo will leave as well, and we ask you to have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.
All right, let's hope it doesn't snow too much. I'll see you all on next Friday. Thank you. All right, thank you all for letting me rant a little bit. Mr. Fleeman, are you out there? So Mr. Bradshaw is here.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
John, you've dealt with that question also, I know, in your vast practice. Do you practice in some counties where they don't allow it?
No.
Everybody's allowing?
There was one judge years ago up near Hudsonville who said, I want to see a termination, but every other judge allows the non-payment to move forward.
Have you ever seen them actually remove a mobile home?
I have not. Usually what they do is try to buy them.
Yes, that is usually what happened. Miss Evie, can you hear me? She's been wandering around and wiggling. All right. Miss Evie was here when I went through the advice of rights. This is a complex at Texas Drive in Sturgis. It's now called Stonehouse Apartments. Is that you, Miss Collins?
No.
Oh, she's in a different.
She has the next.
All right. What's the current arrearage here, Mr. Bradshaw?
The current amount due through the month of November, Your Honor, is $1,702. There's $198.40 in court costs for a total of $1,940. $1,900.40. Sorry. More than happy to do a CD with Ms. Evie, and if she needs, if we're going to adjourn this, if I could get her phone number, that would be great.
Now.
All right, the lot was going on right there. Miss Evie, they claim you owe, and that was so easy, Mr. Bradshaw. You and Mr. Fleeman and now Miss Strong, you've taught them, come in and just tell the judge how much money is owed in rent and costs. And I don't know why that should be so hard, but some of the lawyers prepare a document called a judgment form. But so often they don't know what anything is, and we think around trying to figure it out and adding it up. And I always appreciate your firm's professionalism. Miss EB, they claim you owe $1,702 and $198 in costs. He's mentioned something called a CD, which would be a conditional order of dismissal. He also wanted to be able to contact you and discuss this. And if you can work out some agreement, he can file what's called a conditional order of dismissal. And I mentioned that in the comments. Is it your position that you wish to stay there?
Yeah. I don't have nowhere else to go right now.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
Where's that?
Everlast Roofing in Howe, Indiana.
That's a pretty good job. That's a company that makes the trusses.
The metal roofing.
Yes, I can see you're there at the plant right now, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna reset this for next Friday.
Okay.
Rather than put your number out over the internet, I'm gonna give you Mr. Bradshaw's number.
I can give her my direct to my desk number. That'll be helpful.
All right. Do you have something to write with?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm ready.
It's area code 269 569 7590. So one more time, 269
Yep.
569
Okay.
7590.
Okay.
All right. Let me see if you're here next week, Mr. Bradshaw.
We're there in the morning for criminal, but if you've got any.
Yes, I understand you're gonna be here doing some criminal matters. I had to smile when I saw Mr. Fleeman in here. I had a criminal case. I thought it was good for him and it would be good for you. So let me schedule this in the morning when you're gonna be here anyway. So Ms. Strong is broadening your horizons. It's been a while, but it's good for you. What did I do with it? And if the matter's settled, nobody needs to be here anyway.
Right, and that would be that'd be the intent.
All right, let's set this for 8:45, November 14th.
Hello.
Now, Miss Eby, you did a good job of zooming in. You and Mr. Bradshaw are going to discuss this. If you work the case out with a conditional order of dismissal, you don't even need to be here. But if you don't work it out, you need to be here, and then I'll discuss it. And if these numbers are correct, I'm going to tell you that you have 10 days to pay $1,900.40 or be subject to being evicted. So perhaps you and Mr. Bradshaw can come to some agreement, and there'll be a conditional order of dismissal. Do you have any questions?
So next Friday, I have to come to the courthouse?
No, you can come by Zoom once again.
Okay, and at what time is it?
It's at 8:45 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
In the meantime, you're gonna call Mr. Bradshaw at that number and discuss resolving this case.
And if we get it resolved, we don't have to go to court.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. I think you can do that. All right. Thank you for your patience.
Am I free to go?
Yes, I'm going to remove you. All right, Mr. Bradshaw, you got one more. Vista Meadows versus Courtney Mercer. Is there anyone here on behalf of Courtney Mercer?
I'm here.
All right, your iPhone? Let me.
Yeah.
Well, I got. All right. Wait a minute. I've got. I can't see you. I see some. I think your iPhone.
Yeah, I didn't know how to.
No, you're 509. So let me give you a name. Oops, it's difficult when people just come in by telephone.
Well, it's good for me because I get their phone number.
Yeah, you got it down?
I do.
All right, very good. I try not to put their numbers out there, but. All right, this is Vista Meadows versus Courtney Mercer. And Chrissy Collins, are you the manager of this complex?
I am.
All right, let me get this down, Jay Bradshaw. These complexes change names, they change management companies, they change managers, but Bradshaw firm's been consistent. All right, this is also a non-payment of rent case. Mr. Bradshaw, what's the current arrearage?
Your Honor, the current amount due through the month of October is $1,510. And Chris, if you're looking at your ledger, I reduced the $100. So that's why it's $1,510. There's $198.40 in court costs for a total of $1,700.40.
Give me that number again.
Yeah. So $1,510 in rent, $198.40 in court costs, total due $1,708.40.
All right. I'm getting some background noise from Miss Mercer's feed. Miss Mercer, what do you say to that?
I guess as of yesterday, I don't owe anything. I paid $1,400 on October 28th, and then I paid the other $900 yesterday. And I sent a picture of the receipt to Paul, which I think is the owner.
Paul was the manager. I apologize, Mr. Bradshaw. I think you might have the wrong ledger.
Okay.
Because I showed a balance owed of $29, but she made a payment today of $505, which could reverse.
You mean?
Well, let's continue this one also. We'll continue this.
Okay.
To November 14th at 8:50. I expect this is going to be resolved.
Yes.
Yep.
Looks like defendant has paid.
Yeah, we'll do a dismissal if that's.
Miss Mercer, Mr. Bradshaw has your phone number. He's going to contact you. I want you to also stay in contact with your manager. It looks like almost everything has been paid except $29. And if you paid $550
I
today,
think I did.
Your money
I did
ahead.
the math wrong, so
I'm going to schedule this for next Friday, November 14th at 8:50, expecting the matter will be resolved.
okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
All right. Stay in contact with your manager. If you get a phone number from like a number you're not from a phone call from a number you're not familiar with, it will be a Kalamazoo number from Mr. Bradshaw's office.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Creeping along, we got Vista Meadows versus Nichols. And I think that's iPhone. Are you Christina Nichols?
Yeah.
All right, let me give you a proper name.
Christy, do you have her phone number?
I do. I don't have it right in front of me.
No, that's fine, as long as you have it.
Yep.
Okay.
This matter was set for 2:25, which means we're about 35 minutes behind. All things considered, I guess could be worse. Manager Christy Collins. This is also a non-payment of rent case. This looks to be market rent of $900 per month. What's the current arrearage?
Your Honor, I'm showing the current amount due through the month of October is $4,040, $198.40.
Through October or November?
This is through the month of November. I'm sorry. Yes.
Right, you said October. I want to make sure we're on the right wavelength. 1440 through November?
Sorry, $4,040 through November.
All right.
$198.40 in court costs. So the total due is $4,238.40 through November.
All right, Ms. Nichols, what's your response to that?
That's correct.
What's your plan?
I actually moved. I still have some belongings there that are getting moved out today, but other than that, I'm out of there.
If I may?
What's that?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Ms. Nichols, this matter is brought before the court for a non-payment of rent without a money judgment, stating, meaning that you can either pay or you can vacate. If you vacate and turn in your keys before the next hearing next Friday, I will dismiss this case, but you need to make sure that Ms. Collins has those keys.
Okay.
All right, now, you also need to give your forwarding address in writing. So when you turn in the keys, you need to give your forwarding address in writing to the landlord. If you do that, they'll dismiss it. Now, they may at some point file an action to collect the back rent, but not in this hearing. This is a possession hearing. So if you vacate, turn in the keys and give your forwarding address in writing before next Friday, they'll dismiss the case.
Okay.
So I'm going to continue this to 11/14/25 at 11 or 8:55. I expect all these are going to be resolved. I wouldn't set them that close together. And then you can attend to what your criminal matters are. All right, Ms. Nichols, Mr. Bradshaw may also be contacting you, but really all you need to do, finish moving out, turn in the keys and give your forwarding address in writing, and you're good to go.
Okay, and you said next Friday at what time again?
8:55 a.m.
And I do need to show up for that, even if I do turn
No,
in
if you turn in the keys and your forwarding address, you don't need to come.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
All right, we have one more Vista Meadows matter.
I'm showing two. Oh no.
Oh, two more. We got Quail Run.
Yeah, that's
yes.
Well, sorry. Yeah.
All right, we're plugging away. These are certainly going a lot faster than the ones we had before. The next is Vista Meadows versus Myers. And the title of the case is Vista Meadows versus Greg Myers. Defendant was personally served. He does not appear to be here. Is anyone here on behalf of Greg Myers? Ms. Collins, that's still you.
Correct.
Is he still there?
Yes, he is.
All right, what's the arrearage here?
The amount due to the month of November, Your Honor, $4,875 rent, $198.40 in court costs for a total of $5,073.40 through November.
Well, he is not here and he's subject to default. You're going to ask for a default?
Yes, Your Honor, I move for default judgment for possession only with a writ date of 10 days from today.
10 days from today would be November 17th.
Thank you. I can prepare that and have that sent to the court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We set your cases closer together because they always go faster.
I appreciate that.
So we set the Bradshaw cases on a 5-minute spread rather than 10 or 15. And so we're plugging away here. Next one is Quail Run versus Eric Christian. And Mr. Christian is here. Mr. Christian, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor. How you doing, Mr. Bradshaw?
I'm doing swell. How are you?
Not too bad now.
All right, what's the status here?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. So the current amount due through the month of November is $4,860. There's $200.50 in court costs for a total of $5,060. That's 60.25.
0.50.
50, sorry. Yes, 50.
All right, Mr. Christian, what's your position?
I know I'm behind. I wasn't here for a couple months. I was taking care of some family, had somebody that was supposed to be paying my rent out of my account for me, and that did not happen.
Do you have a plan to get caught up on it?
At the moment, I'm currently looking for a job back here in Sturgis in town so that I can work close because I do not have a vehicle. And as soon as I get a job, I'll start paying the back rent back on it.
Well, that ain't gonna get it. The wolf is at the door and you're close to being evicted.
Yes, Your Honor, I
You're
understand that.
$5,000 in arrears. You left, apparently weren't even there, and somebody wasn't paying the rent. So they're not gonna wait for you to get a job and then wait for you to get caught up on this rent on a monthly installment plan. They're gonna ask you to pay this rent or move out. So that next hearing date will be next Friday. I'm gonna set it for, boy, am I booked up. I'll set it for 8:30.
And Chrissy, do you have his?
What?
I was asking Ms. Collins if she has Mr. Christian's phone number.
I believe I do have it on file. I think I tried contacting Mr. Christian. I'm not sure if his number was working at the time.
Well, Meg's out of the breakout room, so I could put you guys in a breakout room and you can discuss it.
Okay.
But Mr. Christian, we're going to adjourn this matter till next Friday, November 14th at 1 o'clock or 8:30 in the morning. You'd get 10 days from that day to move or be subject to being evicted. That would be November 24th. As a practical matter, probably nothing would happen until Thanksgiving. But you're looking at the very real possibility of being evicted 1st of December. So you should consider that. Have you looked for any place else to move?
No, I haven't. To be honest with you, I didn't know that my rent wasn't being paid at the time until I actually got back here to the apartment and found the notices.
Well, what happened to the money that was going to be used to pay the rent?
The person that was supposed to be paying it used it to pay his car payment.
Oh, that sounds like a good system. All right. Well, it puts you in a difficult spot.
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
I'm going to put you in a breakout room with your manager and Mr. Bradshaw, and you can discuss this. But you're in a tough spot. You don't have $5,000 to pay your rent. There'll be another month's rent due. It's $900 a month. This is market rents, not subsidized. As of December 1st, you're going to owe $6,000. And my advice would be you start to look for somebody to move to, but let me put you in the breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you can discuss this further.
And that's my last case for today. So once I'm done.
Yes, it is. Thank you. And then I'll put Chrissy Collins in there. You should automatically be in it. Mr. Christian, hit the button that says join. You too, Ms. Collins. Ms. Berry, this is also filed as a non-payment of rent for lot only. Mr. Reed, what's the arrearage here?
All right, Your Honor, I'm going to break this down. $2,350 is rent. There's $150 in garbage fee and pet fee. And there's one late fee of $75 for all 5 months that were claimed for a total of $2,575. And then we have court costs and service fee of $179.10 as the total. That breaks down $49.10 for service, $75 statutory attorney, $55 filing.
All right, and what's that total up to?
Total is $2,754.10.
All right, Ms. Berry, what's your position?
Well, I have a job. I mean, I tried taking in the stuff up to DHS to see if they would pay it. They denied my case because I didn't have a job, and I just started my job previous after I took it up to DHS. Other than that,
well, I would encourage you to take it back. Where's your job?
work at McDonald's or Wendy's in Three Rivers.
Wendy's in Three Rivers?
But
I had a
previous
guy
to this,
this morning was on his way to Wendy's in Three Rivers and got arrested for drunk driving. So that happens a lot. Who else lives there with you?
it's just me now. I was living there with my son, and then
I
that's
can't hear you
another.
very good. You said your boyfriend left?
No, I was living there with my son, but he up and left, and that's some of the reasons why I'm behind on rent.
All right, he helped with the rent?
Yeah.
Well, I would encourage you to go back to DHS and ask once again. Let's talk about this. The only thing that'll cure this is paying the entire amount. And, but it's a lot easier for them to work with a tenant to stay there than to move one out and move another one in. Especially with this mobile home circumstance. Mr. Reed, are you available next Friday, November 14th at 3 o'clock?
I believe I am. Let me double check on my calendar.
I don't have that. I don't have the money to even try to save it.
Yeah, what
All right,
time?
let's talk about that for a minute. All right, Ms. Barrett, we're going to continue this to next Friday at 3 o'clock. Be by Zoom like this once again. Now, ultimately, if you can't pay the rent, they could ask me for an order to remove your mobile home off the lot. You own the mobile home?
No, it actually is. It's in the family. It's my brother that owns the trailer.
So I would say this, as far as the cost, Your Honor, her total cost per month there to the park is only $500. I don't know what arrangement she has with family, if she has to pay a family member for the unit, but that is, in my experience, a fairly low dollar amount for the local area for a monthly.
Well, for this area and the area which we live in. All right, Ms. Berry, my suggestion is a couple things. You go back to DHS and let them know that you're now employed and see if they would be able to provide any funding, or Neighborhoods Inc. or Community Action Agency. Do you want the number for Neighborhoods Inc.?
Yes.
I think it's on the information in the packet.
I don't. Okay, I'll have to go back to it again.
I had it right here. Here it is. All right, here's the number for Neighborhoods Inc. They may also have some emergency funding. But there may be an issue with this because it's lot only, but it won't hurt to ask. Neighborhoods Inc. is, you ready?
Yep.
269-968-1113, extension 132. That's Ms. Whitney Wardell.
Okay.
All right, so let's recap. We're going to convene again next Friday at 3 o'clock. You have to pay this entire amount or you're subject to being evicted, meaning they can't take you out of the trailer, but they take the trailer off the lot. You have to pay the whole thing. Now they can agree to work with you. They don't have to ask for the writ of eviction for 56 days after I order it, and another 56 days after that to serve it. So they have 100 days or so that they can work with you to try to get caught up in the matter, but it's in their discretion.
Right.
They can agree to it, but they don't have to.
Right.
All right. Do you have any questions for me? Mr. Reed, thank you for sending me a judgment, so I'm ready to go if we need to.
Welcome.
All right, what I did with a lot of this stuff today is kick the can down the road. I don't know if you were present during the discussion in Mr. Davidson's case about what was a land contract and what was a lease option to purchase. There's a question without a clear answer. Maybe we'll get some clarity. All right, Miss Berry, you're good to go.
Question. How many days
Yes.
do I have? How many days do I have?
Well, right now you don't have any amount. I haven't said it yet. We're gonna meet next Friday, the 14th. If they get what they asked for, I would give you 10 days from that day, which would be November 24th. As a practical matter, because of the Thanksgiving holiday, nothing would probably happen at the earliest until December 1st.
Okay.
Then they can give you wiggle time after that. But if you can pay this whole thing before December, you're squared away. You can start with a clean slate on December 1st. All right, do you have any other questions?
No.
All right, you're good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Like-
Meg, next week, I think you're gone next week,
I'm here next week, the week after.
week after.
Yeah,
Mr.
I was
Reed's
gonna
not
be,
going, he's got aged out, but he'll be here. All right, Rebecca, you're good to go. I've set morning and afternoon for the next couple of weeks
Okay.
to try to keep the landlords as current as I can. So we're gonna have very busy mornings and very busy afternoons. Makes more of my hair turn gray, but we'll get through it. All right, TJ, thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Thanks, Meg. We'll see you next week.